Settle this. Just you and me, brother. The showdown that was always meant to be. Agni Kai!
You're on.
Zuko and Azula have quite a backstory to follow between them, in order to understand the tragic masterpiece that is the final Agni Kai. Azula and Zuko, aged 14 and 16, were born to Fire Lord Ozai and Ursa of the Fire Nation. Much of who they are now are based on their parents. Each child mirrors a parent. Ozai is forceful, malicious, and respects only one thing: power. Whether it's firebending or political power, that is the only thing in this world that he relishes. And when Azula was born, Ozai saw uncanny skill, he saw power, potential, and he saw a prodigy that could be manipulated. Ozai molded Azula into his perfect heir, neglecting the rightful heir who had the birthright, Zuko. With Azula being trained to mental and physical excellence, Ursa, who Zuko mirrors, saw her husband neglect their son, and she made sure to lather her son with love, care, and attention. And while Azula chased after her father's acceptance, Ursa and later Iroh raised and gifted Zuko with an abundance of it. The difference between the two is that Ozai never cared for Azula. He never cared for the person behind the ability. Azula grew up without the guidance of her mother, as Azula even neglected her, because Ozai made her believe that Ursa did not care for her, when she did.
You think I'm a monster?
No, I love you, Azula. I do.
But she was forced to spend more time with Zuko, because Ozai neglected him. And now Azula wants attention, care, and love, but she shuns everybody in her life away. All the people that were once in her life she saw as pawns, and she later paid the price for it. When Ursa was banished for saving her son, Zuko then faced the torment of a father that was willing to kill his own son for power, and later burned and exiled him. But Zuko would only get stronger because of it. With Iroh by his side, guiding him and providing him with the same love that Ursa once did, Zuko understood his path and his purpose. And while Azula and Zuko crossed paths often, their relationship just deteriorated after each encounter. Azula was always out to get Zuko, but in the final fight, she was out to kill him. Her own brother.
Sorry it has to end this way, brother.
No, you're not.
Which leads us to the final Agni Kai. Zuko shows up with the aid of his new friend, Katara, and Azula, mentally unstable, who once had a trusted team, shows up alone. And we see the state that she's in. She's off. You can see it in her eyes. Her firebending stance is different. Her hair is uneven. Makeup distorted. This is not Azula. So since Comet sets up our scene beautifully, it's dark, very bleak, and the colors are all saturated. The sky is now a dark red, and both Zuko and Azula are wearing the same colors. The maroon reddish color of the Fire Nation. And immediately it is contrasted with the beautiful comet-aided firebending. Azula's flames are now a bright blue, and Zuko's a bright orange. And when the colors of the flames clash, they rise, giving us gorgeous scenery. Colors that usually represent good and evil are now reversed. As soon as the first blast of fire is shown, the sound becomes drowned out. Usually final fight scenes are triumphant with exciting, uplifting music. But this score is just sad and tragic. It shows the state that both Azula and Zuko are in. It shows how far they've come. Zuko doesn't want it to end this way, but he has no choice. Azula at this point is beyond saving. Her crossroad of destiny happened a long time ago, and she chose Ozai and the path of destruction. Accompanied with a sorrowful cello that reflects Zuko's despair, the silence is haunting, a beautifully tragic fight. A duel between hard work and talent, between brother and sister. Azula's attacks are wild, not as precise and focused as they usually are. She's not using two fingers, this time her blasts are now with her palms, and they reach a wider radius, but they aren't hitting as close. Compare this with her fight against Aang and others. She is usually keeping her opponent at bay and on guard with devastating precision. As usual, she is on the offensive, but her attacks leave herself so open. It's so unlike her. Azula continues to slip away, and without hesitation she tries to electrocute Katara, and when Zuko intercepts her savagely produced lightning, she doesn't feel anything for her injured brother. Azula chases Katara around, firing uncontrolled blasts of lightning and fire, and laughing maniacally. And when Katara freezes and locks her down, we see her cry, finally. We see Azula, this monster, humanized. She realizes what she's done. She realizes the mistakes that she's made. And these tears seem to be more than just the fact that she's tied down. It's the fact that she's lost her mother, her father, and even her brother. And that feeling is amplified when Zuko is shown, just staring at his sister, who is chained up, sobbing. Zuko knew the person that he took down was not his sister. It was someone he had to defeat in order to keep the world in balance. It was something he had to do. This was a story of two siblings, one who was born lucky, and the other who was lucky to be born. This beautifully tragic fight seems to relay that blood isn't always thicker than water.
You'll have a perfect view when I finally wipe your leader from the universe. What sort of madness drives an Earthling to insult Thanos with such trickery?
I had to reboot.
Project Arsenal back online. Hello, Tony. May I be of assistance?
Yes. Remember this guy?
Your foolish machine tried to defeat me before.
Gauntlet power contained.
Well, before Arsenal could only absorb one stone. I've just upgraded him to contain all the Infinity Stones. Too bad I couldn't program him to contain your ego.
Impossible!
Impossible is what Starks do best. My dad built Arsenal as my birthday present, and I just modified him to save the world. You might have seen it coming if you weren't so busy building statues of yourself. Arsenal's no mere robot. He's my father's greatest invention.
Should I obtain the gauntlet, Tony?
I'm thinking that's a good idea. Well, that certainly brought you down to earth, Thanos.
No one challenges Thanos!
We do. When Avengers stand, tyrants fall.
I thought you said Titans were smart enough to know when they've lost.
I don't need infinite power for gnats like you! Can I not do this?
Well, at least that was easy. We couldn't have cut that one any closer.
I knew I could pull it off.
I thought Thanos was the one with the ego.
Arsenal, let's wrap this up. Time to put this gauntlet into safekeeping.
I am sorry, Tony. New contingency software indicates a different course of action.
Huh? You are the contingency plan, Arsenal?
Yes, but your system code left an opening. For Ultron.
Ultron.
Your father
much power it can absorb, so now... neither do I. Prepare for humanity's end.
Whoa, that's Ultron? He's even scarier than I expected.
I am right here with you. I couldn't be more close.
あなたは私の最高傑作なんだから。
When I'm only a ghost, I listen to the words you're saying, words I'm fighting to believe. It's like I'm living from a distance, where you're out of reach. I wanna feel it when I mean it, when I say it. Can you hear me at all? And I feel so far away, far away from everything outside, wondering when I got lost. I threw my arms up in the air. Why do I disappear? How can your love be so close when I'm so far away? Remember when you found me drowning? You pulled me from the deepest end. I promised I will never leave you, but now I'm drowning again. It's killing me with every breath, witnessing the life I left. Only you know who I am. I'm reaching out my hand. I wanna feel it when I mean it, when I say it. Can you hear me at all? And I feel so far away, far away from everything outside, wondering when I got lost. I threw my arms up in the air. Why do I disappear? How can your love be so close when I'm so far away? I'm so far away. I'm so far away. I'm so far away. And I don't wanna waste time living a half-life. Are you listening? Yeah, give it back to me. I remember everything the way it used to be. Yeah, give it back to me. Yeah, give it back to me. I hear your voice, but inside I'm lost. And I feel so far away from everything outside, wondering when I got lost. I threw my arms up in the air. Why do I disappear? How can your love be so close when I'm so far away? Oh, I'm so far away. I'm so far away.
もう体が動かねえ。
俺もボロボロだよ。
ほら入った。俺もだ。
よし、みんなで飯にしようぜ。
ああ、飯だ。宴だ。
भीम के मनपसंद लड्डू बन रहे हैं। आज भीम लड्डू नहीं खा पाएगा।
ये कैसे हुआ? मेरे लड्डू तो गए।